Welcome back to the Coy Bak'n Show. In today's episode, we're going to go over the outside grow and a couple extra things that I'm going to throw in there. But we're going to start over here on the vegetable side, then we're going to work our way back onto the other side so you can see the weed plants. But as you can see over here, y'all saw the last video how the tomato plants were growing up my trellis net, and I got plenty of tomatoes off here. I done made so many jars of tomato sauce and hot sauce from these. It's crazy. But I still got quite a few that I can still take off. But as you can see, the tomato plants are definitely starting to die off. They're drying up, fading out, and you see all the dead leaves. But you can also see I still got plenty of tomatoes still growing in here. And we're gonna rock this out till they're not growing anymore. And then I'm gonna tear it out. But what I did notice, I'm gonna show y'all something real quick. Right over here, I had a pepper plant right here that was buried by this tomato plant right here. But over the last week or so, now that the tomato plant is starting to die off, now we can see the pepper plant again. And look at the size of this pepper right here. Well, it's a hot pepper, and they are hot. But yeah, it was buried up under there. I've got a few of them about this size, but I didn't even realize this giant one was down there until the other day. I was moving some of these tomato branches off, and that's when I noticed that one that was still there. And as you can see how my corn is doing, I've got a late start on the corn this year, but it done as you know, look at it. It's doing dynamite. As you can see, quite a few of them already, like that one right there. You see all the silks are brown. When the silks turn brown like that, that means it's gone as far as it can go. We're gonna go inside the garden, and I'm gonna harvest one so y'all can get to see what it looks like. Let's go inside this garden here real quick. Now over in here, we don't have a whole lot left in here. It's just mainly the corn. I have some pepper plants, some purple bell peppers that's against the fence back there. We go to the other side, I'll show you. We still got some green peppers growing over here. And if you get up in here, you can still see a few of them growing right here. And there's a couple other ones in here somewhere. Yeah, here's a nice size one here. Yep, there you a few more right there. The bigger ones are on this backside here. And that's what those are looking like. Over here we had the eggplant, and I just harvested the eggplant off of here yesterday. And it doesn't look like we're gonna get any more. I see a couple flowers, but I don't know if they're gonna develop into anything. One of the corn plants, but these are, like I said, was looking from the other side, the tomato plants. As you can see, I still got tomatoes. All those orange ones, all still that I need to harvest. And they're still going, all up here. You see all the green ones that are still too immature to harvest. But there's still quite a few all up in there, back in there. And that is a marigold plant. That's a marigold. That's just a marigold, just like the one on the backside. If you look straight through here, you can see the purple, one of the purple bell peppers right there. Yeah, that's a good shot. Yeah, I've harvested plenty of those this year. But yeah, the only thing we got left in here now is just these couple beets down here that I've kind of ignored and probably should have taken them out of here already, but I haven't. But we're gonna slide down and we're gonna harvest one of these corn stalks here. Let's get that one right there. This looks like it's nice and mature. No, this one's still got some growing to do. I think I can grab. Yeah, that's pretty full. That one or this one here, let's see. Yeah, either one of these are pretty full. So I'll take the closer one. But yeah, let's see how we did this year. Looks pretty damn good. At the very top, we missing a couple ears, but not very many though. Just right up here. You can see it's still kind of green because it could have gone a little longer. But as you can see, all the ears are filled in perfectly, all the way around. So yeah, I can let these stay on here. Now this one here, just a tester to see where we stand. And it looks pretty damn good. As you can see, that's a full ear. Complete ear, all the way around. But like I said, this is still a little green on the top. So this probably could have went another week or so. But at least we know where we stand at with these. Should get a damn good harvest out of the other ones that's in here in the coming weeks. Now, a few of them are a lot younger than some of the bigger ones, like this one here. This was planted out here after the other ones. What happened, I put the first set out and a couple of them didn't germinate. So then I came back and put another one out, and that's what these are, these smaller ones. These came up afterwards, and these don't look like they're gonna turn into anything. But for the most part, the rest of them did pretty well. I'm gonna get them to look like that right there. So that's more than, me and my wife would be more than happy with this. Let's go to the other garden and let's get a look over there, because that's where all the extra stuff that I did is happening. And we did make some changes to the garden area over here. This shed used to sit on that side over there. And as you can see, I have a tarp and my canopy is already made for my hoop house. So let's get inside and I can show you more of it. Now over here, I made a simple hoop house. Strictly PVC, 1/2 inch. These pipes here are 1.5 inches. Then we have some fittings across the top. That's all 1/2 inch up there. All I did was take 10-foot 1/2 inch poles, connect them up at the tops with these T's. The ones that are in the middle have 4-way connectors, so I can keep the line going this way and that way for support. And as you can see, it's nice and sturdy. You see a little give in there, a little play, but not a whole lot. It's not gonna go anywhere. Now I'm just draping the tarp over the top of here, and hopefully it'll hang to about halfway on both sides. Should be good. And just to keep the rain off of the weed plants. And we're gonna get inside here, and I'm gonna show you how big these things have gotten. One thing I did forget to bring up here is my measuring tape so we can measure the girls, and I'll go get that in a minute so we can see that. But come on, let's start in here real quick and I'll show you what we got going on. As in before, we got our sweet potatoes running all through here. The deer come by every night and steal the leaves that are grown on the outside of the fence, but everything on the inside is fine. One of the rump shakers are right here. You see how big this girl is. She's doing dynamite. Big giant leaves. Look at the leaves on this girl. Look how big that is. So yeah, these girls are healthy as they want to be. I just fed them again today and gave them another top dressing. But I'm gonna get into this a little bit. These 2 plants here, the rump shakers, I didn't put any support on them. And you see how wide and big this girl is getting. This is huge. No support, but they're extremely sturdy branches here. So I am gonna get some flop, but I don't think I'm gonna get that much that it'll cause that much of a problem. But if it starts to look that way, I can still tie this off to the fence that's back here. And that's probably what I'll do, just for a little extra support. And the same thing with this one here. But this one here isn't getting as wide as that one there. But it's still pretty damn big, as you can see. Nice, strong branches, but it's not as strong as that one. So I'm gonna definitely have to put some kind of support here. Probably some bamboo stakes to hold these up. And we're in the early part of flowering, and we're gonna get in here close so we can see how it's starting to stack in here. They are stacking beautifully. So there's definitely gonna be some weight on here. A little deeper into the garden, I had to pull my pepper plants out. The one thing about having these plants in these containers, I can easily move them around. And the pepper plants were stuck right up in here, and these 2 big rump shakers started swallowing her up. And I'm still growing peppers. I got peppers all through here, and I don't want to lose them. So, and these are all jalapenos on this side. That's a good one here.
and I've harvested quite a few. My sweet spicy Janes, they died off. But on this side over here, this is some more purple bell peppers, and they pretty much done died off too. I got some banana peppers up in there that got swallowed up.
Can't see them anymore because we got these 2 giant trees right here, rump shakers. My wall here where my watermelons were and my snap beans, you can still see some of the snap beans and the watermelons growing there, but for some reason, my watermelon plants have took a beating. They were growing fine, then all of a sudden started having issues and they stopped growing. But my snap beans, they're still going. They're huge. I done harvested quite a few of these, and I need to come out here and harvest the rest of these and then take this all down because this is really messy now. So this is pretty much done for the season. I can clean this whole area up. Now this is also where I got the cantaloupe and the watermelon, but the sugar babies, they're taking a little hit. This one here might be the only one left that I have that's probably ready to come down. I'm looking at the tassel on here and it's brown, so it's definitely ready to harvest. I'll probably take this down after this video. But my other ones haven't got to maturity yet. And they don't look like they're going to get there because of the plant. I don't want to take them down yet because I was hoping I can get a few more weeks out of these watermelon plants, but I'm not sure. Even my cantaloupes, we did harvest a cantaloupe about a week ago that turned out fantastic. It was nice and sweet. It was the first time I've grown a cantaloupe that got all the way to the end. And we got those 2 left. I think the other one I did have, the deer came by and snatched it off and ate it. But yeah, that's what it looks like in here. Let's get deeper in the garden so we can see the main attractions. And that's these big girls. But I got some okra over there that's growing pretty well. See if you can see through there. There's a couple big ones back there that's growing. Yeah, I see them. And right below there, some banana peppers down there below that. And they're still growing. I got some carrots down there, but these weed plants are blocking all the sun to the carrots, so they're not getting much of anything. And that's them down there on the ground down there. Carrots down here, and they're not getting no light. You see the branch down here flopping. I could cut this off. But over here, let's get in here into some of the plants that are deep in the flower. This one, I got 2 that are deep in the flower. Here, the honey cream, and then the autoflower, the pure goop. And we're going to get into this plant here because I have bud rot on this plant. And Mrs. Corey Bak'n is in a perfect spot because that's where the bud rot was at, right there. You see it's browning in right there, all that right there. That's bud rot. And the reason why we got that bud rot on this particular plant is because of rain. About a week or so, maybe 10 days or so ago, it rained pretty well for a few days. And these plants, as you can see, have no covering over them. And I believe the moisture was absorbed by the buds and it caused some of that section right up here to rot out. Now we're gonna get back here. Let me see, where's my autoflower. Come on back here if you can squeeze back here. Let's get into this one. Now this is the pure goop. And this one here, called pure hell. All kind of bud rot in here. And in addition to that, I was pulling it apart the other day and I found a worm, one of them green worms in here. So it got a hold of this plant and beat it up pretty well. It smells great though. Hell of a smell coming off of it. But all through the main, all that is bud rot. And I kept this plant out here just so y'all could see this. Now we got some parts of it that didn't get really affected at all. Down here, the outer parts like here. So I didn't want to kill it all because I do want to get a chance to taste this. But I did leave the center part on here for video purposes so y'all could see this. But that is pretty bad all in here. All that bud rot. And that's the one thing bad about growing outside. You got to deal with the environment and then the outside. My weed plants, the batch 47s, pheno number 2, this one and this one, and the mighty hold pheno number 6 over here in the corner are humongous. And I got some dying off. I was putting up the hoop house and the PVC pipes, hit a couple of the branches like here, and they killed some of it. Like that one is dying off because it broke. And then I had to feed these plants a hell of a lot more now because they're getting so big. And if you remember a couple weeks ago, I talked about these plants and growing them in these 20-gallon pots. And as I said then, even though 20-gallon pots are huge, when you're growing plants this size outside, they need more than 20 gallons. Because if I go a day without watering these plants, by that next morning, they are going to be drooped down like they're dying. And I went through that yesterday. I came down, I had watered the day before. I said, I'll wait. Yesterday, I said, I'll wait till the evening. I thought I gave them enough water to get them through, and I didn't. That's one of the branches I just broke when I was putting the pipes up. If you're going to build a hoop house, people, build the hoop house before you get your weed plants outside. So it'll be a hell of a lot easier to work around without having to destroy branches and practically kill your plant. But as you can see, the girls are doing dynamite. I have no real complaints. I got some dying stuff off in the inside, but because I'm definitely having to water them and daily and practically feed them now. Now I keep it. I've told you all this before. I top dress these every 7 to 10 days with the down to earth amendments, the rose and flower. But in addition to that, I am definitely at the point now where I'm having to give them liquid newts at least twice a week. Maybe I might even push this up to 3 times a week because they're growing like crazy. Look at the bud set on these. Look how close this is. This is going to be huge once this sets up. You see the buds are developing. They're going to be like that all through here. These branches are strong and nice and thick. And they are going to be supported somewhat by this makeshift trellis net that I threw up in here. But other than that, the plants aren't doing bad whatsoever. I have been giving them the IPM to try to keep the bugs off them as much as possible, because the further I get in the flower, the less chance I'll have to spray these plants. Now I have maybe one more opportunity with the bud set looking like it is to spray these. Some people wouldn't spray this late in the flower because you see the buds set are there. But out here with the environment and the bugs, you got to stay on top of it. So I will be spraying at least one more time. I'm using Lost Coast Therapy spray, and that's what I'm going to be using. I don't have any powdery mildew issues yet, and hopefully I won't get any. And I have some chemicals, some IPM for that too, if that was to show up. But for right now, the Lost Coast Therapy, the neem oil, and the Exile fungicide have been working fantastic. As you can see, the plants are praying up to the sun. They're healthy. This in the inside here should have been cleaned up a lot more than I cleaned them up. But that's fine. I'm glad it's dying off like it is. So it's something I don't even have to worry about in there now. This the main stuff on the outside of the plant will develop and grow. But I do have to stay on the feedings on this, because even this plant here right beside Mrs. Koi Bak'n, it's in this tiny pot, and I did not expect this plant to take off like it did. I thought it would, because I put it in this small, this is maybe 5 gallons of soil, if that. I would throw it in here, it wouldn't get that big at all. But it has taken off and damn near got as tall as the girls here on my left, the big girls. So very little medium down there. So now I'm watering this twice a day. So at least every other day I'm in here, I'm gonna have to feed her, because look all this dying stuff down here. All this is just yellowing up and dying because it's eating it. It always starts at the bottom. It'll start eating the leaves and stuff at the bottom of your plant and working its way up. I got quite a few leaves on here that are dying off, and that's all because this is very little medium. It's too small for a plant this size. So now I'm forced to pretty much come out here and every watering put some nutrients in the soil too, because it's definitely depleted. And like I said, I do top dress it, but it's just still not enough. One quick look, real quick, Miss Koi Bak'n, turn around. I'm gonna use the last of my tomato plants on this side over here, and as you can see, they're rocking and rolling. These are the Roma tomatoes, the ones you use to make your tomato sauce. I just had that sit in the window and finish ripening up. But I'm still getting quite a few tomatoes off this plant, even though they got all this dying foliage on it. The tomatoes are still rocking. And even over here, my beefsteaks on it. Oh, I'm sorry. Down on the ground, I got a few big ones down there. So we're still rocking and rolling in the veg garden. Hopefully we can get stuff all the way to the frost, till frost comes. And frost ain't gonna come until late October, November time frame. So if those tomato plants keep growing, I'm gonna keep rocking with them. I actually thought they'd be gone by now. I'll be cutting all this down because I had intentions to take this middle plant and pull it back to get it off of these other plants. Once I realized these were getting so big that I said, well, I give it a little breathing room. I could pull the middle one back and they wouldn't touch as much. But that's not the case because I'm still growing these. And even if I was to pull this back, I still wouldn't have that much room because they still would touch each other. It's just that these plants were not expected to get this big, and I definitely needed more space over here. What I should have done, this wall here should have just been these 3 plants instead of these 3, and I got a honeycream on the end down there. Initially, that section down there where the honeycream were potatoes. You remember, we had this whole wall was white potatoes before these plants got this big. Once we harvested all the white potatoes and then pushed these plants up here and they had all this space to themselves, they just took off and grew like this. And this is dynamite, but it's going to be some work. We still haven't necessarily figured out where we're going to dry all this if it does make it to the end, but we'll figure it out in the coming weeks. But that's what the plants look like this week. But as you can see, we started our hoop house, and up here, the sun I'm sure is glaring right down into that camera. It's makeshift, but it's PVC, and as you can see, we will have it pretty much covered up. And what we're gonna do in a second is throw this camera up on the tripod, and then we're gonna pull the tarp over this here to get it covered up, and then I can make any adjustments I need from there. But I'm sure it's going to be a little task for the 2 of us to try to get this canopy, this cover over top of this huge canopy. Now, when I first measured this out, this was a 20 by 12, but I forgot back here on this end here, I had an additional 4 feet that I forgot to cover. So when I bought the tarp with the intent to cover 20 feet, not 24 feet. So I'm a little short. So I'm turning the tarp the other way, and hopefully it'll work. It's the tarp that the cover that I bought is 20 feet by 30 feet. So we're gonna switch it around, make the 30 feet cover from front to back, and then 20 feet can just go over to the sides. Again, I don't need to go all the way down to the ground. I just need to get this covered so these plants are covered up for the most part. Then on the ends, they're still gonna be open air. But for the most part, if we can keep most of the water off of them, we'll be fine. In addition to that, about pretty much where I'm standing, I am going to bring a fan, a tower fan in here, and have blow oscillating right here. I'm gonna put another one down on that end down there. I'm gonna try to have like 3 fans in here blowing to keep the moisture down in here. Because the more the moisture sits on the buds as they develop, we'll wind up having the bud rot like we had right here. So since I've now kept this out here long enough for y'all to see it, more than likely I'm going to go ahead and harvest this and take what I can get off of here. Even though we're really early, but it really looks like, I wish I had my microscope out here, but it's definitely browning. The parts, even the parts that aren't rot, have brown. So hopefully I can get something off of here that I can keep. These outside branches I think I'm gonna be good with. I could dry these up. At least we can do a smoke review and get a taste of it. And in the future, I can grow this back again. I'll get Grow Peaceful to send me out another one of these seeds, and we'll grow it in the inside and get a real representation of the plant. But it's frosty as hell, I know that, and it got a hell of a smell on it. So definitely want to do this one again. But yeah, like I said, we're gonna put y'all up on this tripod now, and we're gonna try to get this tarp over top of here. So let's do that next. All right, we're back. As you can see, we got the hoop over top of it. It's covering the plants just like we needed to do. These are complete, the weed plants are completely covered up, except right on the end. And here,
I'm gonna take some stakes. Got a corner here, my tie a rope, run the stake this way, so this can stay off like this. Same thing up here in the middle and over here on the end. So this side here can stay pulled and tight. And when it does rain, it'll just run right off. I don't have to worry about it raining sideways and getting in here too tough. That'd be a hell of, because I got trees here too. So I shouldn't have to worry about these plants getting wet at all. On the other side, let's take a walk around here this way. As you can see, we're nice and tight all the way around. We are going to get a little water, but the water will run right off. And on the same side, same thing when it's in here, I'm gonna tie it off. As you can see the wind blowing this one. Do same thing, grab this corner. And then here in the next hour or so, I'm gonna come in here and cut the rest of these string beans out of here because it's not much of nothing else growing on this. So I can go ahead and get rid of this. My watermelon plants are catching hell. Until they just completely die off, I might just let them continue to hang until they gone. Like here's one here, and the deer got to it, as you see, and it's not even that hard anymore. Cantaloupe down here that was doing great. I'm gonna let it keep growing, but the deer are coming through here daily. And you can see it ate up everything here leaf-wise. And it's like that on the same thing on the other side. But on this side here, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna tie this down, stake it here. As you can see across the front, I don't have to worry about any weed getting wet because those are further inside the tent. Here, the closest one is right here, so I shouldn't have to worry about that. I tie this off like this, right down to here, and in the middle, I shouldn't have to worry. What I may do is just, so it don't flap, just tie this down and tighten it up a little bit more. Not too much, huh? Gotta give leave a little slack in it so the wind catch it and blow a little bit. But yeah, other than that, man, I'm gonna trip the deer. I wanna trip the deer because they coming down here. My wife's talking about tripping the deer. They over here eating up my sweet potato plants growing right here and all across the side. Lord have mercy. But Bambi and them had gotten plenty of food from my garden. But yeah, I'm tying down this corner here, that corner there, and that should make this tight enough. And on this side here, we zip tied the whole side to the fence because we use this side of the fence as support. See, each one got a zip tie all the way down. So we shouldn't have to worry about anything catching it and pulling it off. So only thing I got left, like I said, is to stake all four corners. And after that, we pretty much good to go. That's a good enough hoop house. As you can see, it'll keep the rain off the buds all the way, hopefully, to late in October, so we can get these plants as big as possible before the weather gets them. Just like I said a little earlier, I'm still gonna put some fans in here. I'm gonna put at least 3 fans in here. One on that end, one in the middle, one on this end here, all of them oscillating. And hopefully that will help us keep the moisture off the buds so we don't have any more bud rot like we've got on that autoflower and that honey cream. But yeah, as you can see, I told you I was gonna get a hoop up and we got one up. I was getting a little worried myself. Was I gonna actually be able to get it done? But me and wifey got out here and we got it done. We got it up. Didn't cost a whole lot of money to do this. Each one of these 1/2-inch PVC pipes that's running from left to right, they were only like $2.58 a pipe. And each one of the pipes is 10 feet long. And I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 1/2-inch pipes at, let's say, like $2.50 each. Then we had the connectors, which were like $1 and some change a piece. The most expensive poles here were the one wifey just walked by. Here, this 10-foot pole right here, this is 1.5 inches. I have 1, 2, 3 of those. And I actually got 1 or 2 of them I can take back to the store. But we're using the 3 of them. They were only seven and some change a piece. So and then the most expensive thing was the tarp. The tarp was about $150. Not the tarp, but the cover. It was about $150. And it's 16 millimeter, so it's nice and strong. It's not the kind
that's going to tear easily, and it's still plenty light getting through here. And I got plenty, if you, Mr. Koi Bak'n, get up there, you can see now some of the buds are being smashed right over there. But I am going to make some adjustments over there to get this off of the plants off of the tarp. Now, this is when earlier in the video I was talking about moving the plants. This is where I might just snap. Let me get on this side and see if I can do it real quick. This one here, you see how close it is touching the tarp there? This is when I can take this and pull this back just a little bit. Now, I have the plants kind of hooked into the tarp on the other side over here. I mean, the fence. And I just pull those back through since I'm pulling it off, because I'm not trying to smash anything. Up, there we go. Get them all off of there. And it's not smashing it up top as much anymore. It's touching, but it's not going to hurt anything. If I really need to, I could probably prop that pole up just a little bit more to push the plastic out, but I'm not going to worry about it too tough. But I do want to get that off of there because moisture will build up over there. Yeah, I'm going to push this up like that. I'm going to put something in there to support that up a little bit. The other ones, they're not affected by it. They don't look like it's touching it as much at all. It's just that one on the right there.
So you had to clean this out, slide it over.
Say it again.
I said if they had to come out.
Yeah, what I may do is harvest these as much as I can, kill this section off all together and take this out of here. And then I will be able to pull that one center plant back a little bit more and make me a little bit more room. I may have to do that in the coming weeks to assure we don't have these plants touching the canopy whatsoever and moisture building up on it overnight. So that's something that we are, yes, we can pull in.
Because they're in the middle,
Yeah.
you can walk around just the outside of it.
Yeah, we're gonna make some adjustments to it. Because again, we intended to make those adjustments, but I was expecting these tomato plants to be dead by now. But they were still rocking and rolling. And as you can see, I'm still getting tomatoes off of here. So I might get this tomato plant one more week at the most and then kill it off. Then I ain't got to worry about coming in here dealing with these anymore. Because like I said, I got plenty of tomato sauce in the house. So that would definitely free up me some more room to adjust these plants just a little bit. And that's exactly probably what I'm going to do. Yeah. I could, but I got to do something about the soil. And remember, you are recording. So, okay. So, yeah, now Mrs. Koi Bak'n is mentioning this right here.
Brainstorming.
Yeah, and in here, actually, there are some potatoes in here. Probably in that slide there, but I'm not going to really worry about them. But I can definitely, we got to get the soil out here to move it in order to make some space in both of these here. But that's, you know what, in the coming days, I probably will do that. Even though I hate to kill off tomatoes when they are growing. But in the next coming days, I am probably going to go ahead and harvest these tomatoes out and take these out. Because that would definitely free up this room that I need to make a few adjustments here. Because if I could take these two plants here and move them, one in this corner, one right here, that would allow that one right there to be enough room to just slide out just a smidget. Now we do have our pole here that we'll have to work around, but we'll work around it. But for the most part, man, this is ideal. It worked out perfectly. I have no complaints. I mean, geez, I would love it. I can't wait till we get some, we're supposed to get some rain in the next couple of days. So hopefully I'll get out here and finish staking this up and we get some rain in the next couple of days and we'll see how it works. We shouldn't have any problem with the wind because we got the openings on both ends and down at the bottoms. My biggest issue now would be, again, just these bugs, man. These damn leaf worms or whatever the hell they call them. They get into your buds and cause this bud rot and eating away at your damn plants. And this was a fantastic plant. It's growing so damn well. But hopefully we can keep that off of these big girls here and these rump shakers over here. But that's all we have for you in this week's episode of the Outside Grow. If you liked what you saw, give us a thumbs up. Leave us a comment, share, and subscribe. And until the next one, stay baking.